most people will never be rich. And it's not because they're lazy, it's not because they didn't go to college. It's because nobody ever taught them these 7 daily habits. And the last one is the one that separates people who stay stuck from people who actually make it. I spent 3 years studying what financially free people do differently. Not millionaires from movies. Real people. A cashier who turned $150 a month in savings into $25,000 over a decade. A guy who fixed phones in his spare time and eventually quit his job because his side income got bigger than his salary. These are not fairy tales. These are things that happen when you build the right habits, one day at a time. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly what those habits are, step by step, so you can start using them today. So make sure to stay until the end, leave a like, and let's start. Here's the thing most people don't want to hear. Being broke is not just a money problem, it's a habit problem. According to a study from the Federal Reserve, 37% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money or selling something. Almost 4 out of 10 people. That number is shocking, but when you look at what most people do every single day, it starts to make sense. Most people wake up, check social media for 45 minutes, go to a job they feel neutral about, spend money on things they don't really need, and go to bed watching shows until midnight. Then they do it again and again, and wonder why nothing changes. The problem isn't that they're not smart. The problem is that their daily habits are keeping them exactly where they are. And habits, good or bad, compound over time, just like money does. The good news? You can change a habit starting today. And once you stack the right ones on top of each other, the results start to feel almost unfair. Let me show you what I mean. Step 1. Stop waiting. Start moving. The first habit is the most important mindset shift you will ever make. So pay attention. Waiting for the right moment is the most expensive decision most people make without realizing it. People wait until they have more money to invest. They wait until they have more time to start that side project. They wait until the economy gets better. The problem is, the right moment never comes. It doesn't exist. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that people who focus on future action instead of present action are significantly less likely to follow through because anticipating doing something gives the brain a similar feeling to actually doing it. So your brain tricks you into feeling productive when you're just thinking about it. The habit to build here is simple. Take one small action toward your financial goals every single day. Not a big dramatic move, just one action. Open a savings account. Read 3 pages of a finance book. Search for one job that pays more. One thing. Every day, small consistent actions beat occasional. Big ones every time. Warren Buffett didn't become the world's most famous investor overnight. He started buying stocks as a kid and never stopped. The key word is never stopped. So starting today, every morning, ask yourself one question before you check your phone. What is one thing I can do today that my future self will thank me for? Then do it before anything else. That one question has the power to change your entire year. Maybe the first step you can make is to open your YouTube channel, since YouTube is the golden opportunity of this decade. And I can help you in my free community in the link below. Step 2, track every dollar. Most people have no idea where their money actually goes. They think they do, but they don't. A 2023 survey by the National Financial Educators Council found that the average American loses $1,500 a year just from a lack of basic financial knowledge and tracking. $1,500. That's not a small number. That's a weekend trip. That's 2 months of groceries. That's a solid chunk of an emergency fund. Here's what happens when you don't track. You have no data. And without data, you make decisions based on feelings. I think I can afford this. I don't spend that much on eating out. My bills aren't that high. But when you actually sit down and write it all out, most people are surprised. The cashier I mentioned at the start of this video, she started tracking every single purchase for 1 month. Nothing else, just tracked. At the end of the month, she found out she was spending $150 on snacks and impulse buys at the store where she worked. Just by seeing it, she stopped. She redirected that $150 every month into a low-cost index fund. Over 10 years, that grew into more than $25,000. She didn't earn more money. She just looked at where it was going. You don't need a fancy app to do this. A notes app on your phone works fine. A notebook works. Just write down what you spend for 30 days. I promise you will find money you didn't know you were losing. Once you know where it goes, You can decide where you want it to go instead. That's when you're actually in control. Step 3. Live below what you earn. This is not new advice, but the reason people keep failing at it is because they misunderstand what it means. Living below your means does not mean being miserable. It doesn't mean eating rice every meal or never buying anything you enjoy. It means that every month you spend less than you bring in, and you do it on purpose. Here's the data behind why this matters so much. According to a 2022 study from Schwab, 59% of Americans describe themselves as living paycheck to paycheck. And a big part of the reason is lifestyle inflation. When income goes up, spending goes up at the same rate or even faster. Someone gets a raise and immediately upgrades their car. Someone gets a bonus and books a vacation they were planning to pay off later. The extra income disappears before it can do anything useful. The habit you want to build is what financial experts call paying yourself first. Before you spend a single dollar on anything, a percentage of your income goes directly to savings or investments, automatically, the moment it hits your account. A good starting point is 20%. But if that feels impossible right now, start with 5%. Then 10%. The number matters less than the consistency. The goal is to make saving automatic, so it doesn't require willpower every month. Every dollar you keep is not money sitting in a corner doing nothing. It's a dollar that can work for you while you sleep. Through compound interest, through investments, through assets that grow over time. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, you need to keep the dollar. Step 4. Build an emergency cushion first. Before you invest a single dollar, before you think about side income, before any of that, you need an emergency fund. This is non-negotiable. Here's why. According to Bankrate's 2024 Emergency Savings Report, only 44% of Americans could pay for a $1,000 emergency from savings alone. The other 56% would need to borrow a credit card, a loan, a family member. And the moment you go into debt for an emergency, you set yourself back by weeks or months of progress. An emergency fund is a financial shock absorber. Car breaks down, covered. Medical bill you didn't see coming, covered. You need to leave a bad job without a backup plan, covered. Without it, one bad week can destroy months of financial progress. Your goal is to build 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a separate savings account that you do not touch for anything except a real emergency. Start small. Even $500 is a beginning. Feed it every payday, even if it's just $20. The habit matters more than the amount. A high-yield savings account is a great place to keep this money because it earns a little interest while sitting there. As of early 2025, some high-yield savings accounts were offering around 4.5% annual percentage yield, much better than the average regular savings account at 0.46%. It won't make you rich, but your safety net will slowly grow while you build everything else. Step 5. Learn the language of money. There is a language that wealthy people speak fluently that most people never learned, and it costs you every single day that you don't understand it. I'm talking about terms like compound interest, index funds, net worth, cash flow, equity, and expense ratio. These are not complicated ideas, but if you don't understand them, other people, banks, credit card companies, salespeople will use that gap to take money from you. Let me give you one example. The average credit card interest rate in the US hit 21.59% in 2024, according to the Federal Reserve. If you carry a $3,000 balance on a card at that rate and only make minimum payments, you will pay over $2,500 in interest alone before that debt is gone, and it will take you almost 10 years. Most people don't know that. Credit card companies count on it. Now here's the flip side. Compound interest also works in your favor when you're on the right side of it. If you invest $200 a month starting at age 25, with an average annual return of 7%, which is roughly the historical average of the S&P 500 after inflation, by the time you're 65, you'll have around $525,000. Not because you put in $525,000, you put in $96,000. The rest is compound interest doing its thing over time. The habit here is simple. Learn one financial concept per week. That's it. 1, there are free YouTube videos, free articles, free podcasts. There is no excuse not to understand this stuff. 30 minutes a week for a year will change how you see every financial decision you make. Step 6. Build more than one. Income stream. Here it is. The step I mentioned at the start. The one that separates people who stay financially vulnerable from people who actually build real wealth. A 2020 study from the IRS found that the majority of millionaires have not one, not two, but an average of 7 income streams. 7. That's not a coincidence. That's a strategy. Now, before you think this is only for people who already have money, it's not. Every single income stream starts small. Let me tell you about my neighbour who fixed phones in his evenings. He watched free tutorials. He bought a $20 toolkit. He charged half of what the big repair shops charged. Word spread. Within a year, he was making more from phone repairs in the evenings than from his actual day job. He eventually opened a small kiosk that now employs 3 people. That started with $20 and a few hours a week. The internet has made it possible for almost anyone with a skill, tutoring, writing, design, translation, photography, coding, even organising, to turn that skill into income. Platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, Etsy, and dozens of others allow you to reach customers anywhere in the world. Your second income stream doesn't need to replace your job right away. It just needs to exist. Because if your job disappears tomorrow, that second stream keeps you alive. And if your job stays, that second stream accelerates everything. Here's what to do. Write down 3 skills you have that someone else would pay for. Then spend 1 hour this week finding out how to offer that skill online. That's your start. Beyond active income, you also want to work toward passive income over time. Money that comes in without you actively working for it. Dividend-paying stocks, rental income, royalties, digital products. These take time to build, but the concept is the same. The more income rivers you create, the safer and more powerful your financial life becomes. Another source of income might also be YouTube, since it's the golden opportunity of 2026, and I can help you in my free community in the link below. Step 7. Protect your time like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Time is the one resource that can never be replaced, refunded, or extended, and most people give it away without thinking twice. A 2023 report from Nielsen found that the average American spends over 4 hours a day watching TV or streaming content. That's 28 hours a week. Over a year, that's more than 1,400 hours. Let that sit for a second. 1,400 hours that could have been used to learn a skill, build a side income, read books that teach you how money works, or improve yourself in any way. This isn't about never relaxing. Rest matters. But there's a difference between intentional rest, taking a walk, having dinner with people you care about, reading something you enjoy, and mindless consumption that leaves you in the same place you started, just a few hours older. The habit here is to treat your time the way you treat your money. With intention. Decide what gets your attention and what doesn't. Say no to things that aren't moving you forward. Guard your mornings especially. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Use it on something that builds, not just something that entertains. Successful people don't have more hours in the day. They're just more deliberate about which ones they give away. I've given you 7 habits. Let me show you what they look like in real life over time. Alex follows none of these habits. They earn $45,000 a year, spend $44,000, save almost nothing, carry some credit card debt, and do this for 10 years. After a decade, they're in roughly the same place. Maybe a little more debt, maybe a small raise, but no real forward movement. Veronica follows these habits. Same $45,000 income. They track their spending and find $300 a month they were wasting. They put $200 of that into a low-cost index fund every month. They build a $2,000 emergency fund in 6 months. They spend 8 hours a month learning a skill and start a small online side hustle that makes $400 a month after 1 year. They automate their savings. They protect their time. They learn one financial concept a week. After 10 years, their index fund, at a conservative 7% annual return, has grown to around $34,000. Their side income has grown and diversified. They have an emergency fund. They have no consumer debt. They have financial options that Alex simply doesn't have. Same starting income. Different habits. Wildly different outcomes. This is not luck. This is not a secret. This is math combined with consistency. If this helped you, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. Just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only, and any results depend on your own decisions and actions.